Good afternoon. This is the Melodic Investor. My name is Antoine, and I just wanted to come on and share a couple thoughts about why I decided to leave the church. Let me be clear. I don't want to. I didn't leave God or anything like that or my faith, but I definitely have checked out of the church. I don't like hold any grudges or anything like that, but hopefully I can keep this video pretty short and sweet. Well, years ago, I had volunteered at a church in playing music and things like that. Hence the name Melodic Investor. And I did that for years, and I never asked for anything. I always just tried to do my assignment, and then to me it was my offering, and I never looked at it like that. But it became something that was like all consuming all the time, and it started taking a big part of my world. And I was a young person growing up in the church, I didn't do any better. And then I ended up getting married, and then once I got married, that expectation was still there to like carry this load for the church. And I couldn't do both effectively. I couldn't provide for my family and try and do the music for the church. Like, I couldn't do both. It was just too much for me. It was either one or the other. A lot of churches now, most churches, I would say, have those weekend warriors where you can come in and kind of play a set or two for multiple services and then be done with it. Well, there's some churches out there that not some churches. If you're the person leading the charge, more weight just falls on you naturally, but some churches will compensate you for that. Well, there's a lot of churches that won't. They just kind of expect that. And that's kind of, to be honest with you, it's been my experience. I grew up more in a very strict kind of Pentecostal UPC church setting. And, I'm not going to bash anyone's beliefs, but it just was not something that I want to raise my family in. And I'm going to make another video about this, really doing a deep dive. That's not the purpose of this video. Also, please like and subscribe and share. We'd love to grow this channel, and hopefully this provides value and add value to your life. But as I got older and more mature, I realized that I need to focus on my family first. And the moment I started to do that shift, I noticed I wasn't like, appreciated is not the right word, but I wasn't more like welcomed into, that. And I had asked to be paid straight up. Just went to the pastor, had a meeting with him, asked him, look, new family, I would love to focus on this, but I gotta keep, like I always say, gotta keep the lights on. And that just wasn't in the cards. And, looking back on it, that's fine. But now that they said that, I have to move accordingly. And I didn't have the voice that I have today, being an older, I say older, I'm, more mature person. But no, I told him I have to go I gotta work. I gotta put food on the table. I have responsibilities now, and this can't be it. I enjoy it for what it is. I have fun, but at the end of the day, I got to do what I have to do for my family. And so, I left that church and got out of it and started going to like a non-denominational church and things of that nature. And, a lot of things started to, my understanding started to grow and evolve, and to realize like, hey, Jesus isn't mad at me. Shout out to Brian Crane. But I was starting to volunteer at some of these other churches. And, when they would hear me play or things like that, they were like, oh, we want to book you for multiple weekends. And I was like, okay, great. So I did that. So I'm playing like Easter services, Christmas services, and that nature. And as I'm playing, I mind you, I'm commuting with gas and all this stuff staying there for a majority of my weekend, away from, again, family. So I asked, hey, is there any way I could be like comp for gas? Because gas isn't cheap and I wasn't making a ton of money. And so when I asked, and this wasn't one or two churches, this is, we'll just say, a handful. And again, this is not something to like be critical or to bitter or anything like that. This is just my story and decisions I made. I asked for gas money and it was like a clutch your pearl moment. Like, you would have thought I was asking for $1 million. And these were not small churches, by the way. These were prominent, established churches in their different, over 2 states, right? And they said no. And I was like, oh man, that really like knocked the wind out of my sails, because I thought like, going to a different church, being in a different environment, maybe it's just that. Maybe it's where I came from. Maybe, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just thought it would be different going from a very strict church where you couldn't watch TV, couldn't wear jewelry, couldn't go to the movies, can't, drink a glass of wine, to a more non-denominational church where you could do all those things. I just, again, in my own ignorance, I thought, okay, maybe it'll be different here. Nope, it wasn't. I don't want to say it was all about profit, but profit definitely was part of it. And they just said, hey, we don't pay our musicians. And I was like, okay, part of why your music sucks. But it's neither here nor there. That's not a shot. But I'm just saying, like, okay, well, to me, it seems unreasonable to expect someone to come spend their weekend and not even offer gas. To me, that's crazy. Maybe, and if they choose not to accept it as their offering, fine. But if you're gonna have someone there playing the 5 services, they're away from their family the whole time. Anyway, I guess maybe I'm weird. Maybe it's me. Maybe I see the world in a weird place. But so I eventually said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm done. And I ended up leaving. So I don't really go to church anymore. As most of you know, we just moved to Atlanta, and we've been looking for a few churches, and we've been to probably 3 churches right now. Just visiting, church hopping. Just now that you have kids, young kids, and it's like, okay, well, maybe we should try this out. So they can, just be a part of a community, I guess. And we haven't been able to find that church yet. I'm not gonna be volunteering or anything like that, unless I absolutely choose to, because I do reserve the right to change my opinion if I want to. But at this time, I have no desire to do that. It'd be fun to maybe have a jam session or something like that, but I'm not really looking to like be super involved in anyone's church, just because I've been hurt too bad. I've been taken advantage of, and it's like I don't want to go through that again. And I've learned the value of my time and the value of my time with my family and my kids, and that's just kind of what I want to do right now, So anyways, that's kind of why I left the church, and there's a lot more to the story that I'm not sharing, because quite frankly, I don't know if that's YouTube's the right place for that. Maybe at some point I will, but anyway, that's why I decided to leave the church. But God is still good. I haven't left my faith or anything like that, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. You see my quotes, missing anything. But anyway, take care, like, subscribe, and please share. Talk to you later. Bye.